Today on DNVR Buffs Live, we are bringing in former Buffs running back and all-star DNVR production intern Deion Smith on set with us for the first time. Should have a lot of fun talking about his journey through football and to how he ended up here with us. Let's do it. Let's go.
Squad. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. It's DNVR Buffs Live. We got I would say special guest, but he's not really a guest. He's here all the time.
One of us.
Squad.
In the building.
All the time. Someone actually commented when you came on the mic like a couple of shows ago, and it's like breaking the fourth wall or something.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna say that doesn't sound like Alyssa.
But Deion Smith joining the show, man. Former Buffs and BYU running back, and now DNVR producer, extraordinaire intern, man.
Boy, killing it.
You
Behind
are.
the scenes, man. It's crazy to be in front of the cam because I'm usually behind the scenes. So
For sure that.
Take us through.
Go, I was going to say real quick before we get into this, bro.
Yeah.
Wayne Morgan, I mean, Meatloaf loves Scotty.
Meatloaf loves Scotty is
You really think you
crazy.
slick, Wayne? Come on, bro. Be fair. You know damn well we don't love Meatloaf
what's
over
up
here.
with them and Meatloaf and you?
Meatloaf
Like,
loves
where
you.
did the connection come from?
Bro, because I don't even know how
I saw it in
came
the
up
chat one day, but I didn't catch up on like why they were saying you like Meatloaf so much.
It was probably Jake. I'm not gonna lie. Like Jake probably said that he likes Meatloaf or something. I'm like, bro, that's foul. And then the chat just turned it into like, no, Meatloaf is great. Meatloaf sucks.
I can't even remember.
They
and
also
then-
say you eat chicken with a fork. or
Bro, they be,
something like that,
bro,
too.
they be. That's
say
Wayne.
anything. They just say anything.
That's King Mars just saying anything, bro. They already know how I'm coming. That's crazy.
I think you were the resident Meatloaf
I
defender.
think that's how it started.
Yeah, it's delicious. I'm going to
Bro,
stand on that.
Even the picture, I think that's Meatloaf. That looks disgusting.
Man, that look like some crazy Meatloaf. I'm not
Like,
gonna lie.
what are we doing?
Oh yeah, I think I can see the ketchup glaze on there.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. Let's get into it.
So I kind of wanted to just give you the floor, and you can take as long or as short as you want to talk about starting from basically committing to Colorado to where you are now.
Dang. Okay. Well, that we'll probably need like 4 or 5 hours to talk about the full journey. But yeah, so I think I committed to Colorado in 2017, I think it was. So yeah, 2017 committed with McIntyre. Came in 2018. 2018 was my freshman year. And that's when I came in with, it was me, Dimitri Stanley, Jarek Broussard, Jalen Sammy, it was a few, Kanan Ray, Hassan Hippolyte. It was a lot of us. Came in with them, and then that was the first season that I was there with McIntyre, but that was McIntyre's last season. So we went 5-0 that first season. I don't know if anyone remembers. 5-0, and then we went 0-7 for the rest of the year. And I think McIntyre got fired week 10? Yeah,
Yeah.
week 10.
It also should be noted that, not to bring up old wounds, they're old wounds for me too. I believe in game 6, we had a 31-3 lead over Oregon State.
Oh, yep, and then we ended up losing that game. I think, was it double overtime? Or
Yeah, on like
or
a
maybe
long
OT.
field goal too,
Yeah,
right?
something crazy. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight.
Let me look that up. I
Y'all
gotta
was
find that.
5-0.
5-0.
5-0.
In the
Yep.
sixth game, y'all was up 31-3.
Yep. Over Oregon State.
And
To
the
clinch
losing
bowl-
that game.
By the way, to clinch bowl eligibility, like something that we hadn't done a lot, but we had done a couple years before. That was like Laviska was like a Heisman candidate at that point.
Wow.
And yeah, it was one of the deep wounds that I have, very similar to the Stanford game.
Yep. Oh, it was we lost in overtime. The score was 41-34. 41-34, yep.
Maybe it was
That a tough one.
34-3.
Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, dog. Did y'all kind of feel it in that moment? Like,
He's like, bro, I
you're making
watched
him relive
this long ago.
bro, I'm sorry. I just gotta know, bro, from a football standpoint. Like, because I was finna ask, because I didn't know about the game
So-
6, like the lead, but like, did it feel like something changed at that moment?
So I redshirted, bro. I redshirted, and I can't remember what happened, but I think I was suited up that game. So I'm just chilling on the sideline and watching the game, and it was 31-3 or 33-3, whatever the score
Yeah.
was. It was crazy. Something happened. There was one shift of momentum. There was one play, and then from there, everything started to feel different.
Yeah.
we didn't make as many tackles on offense. It was 3 and outs. We were dropping passes in the end zone. And it just felt, I don't know, bro. You know when you start to feel like that eerie little
It's just
energy
slipping
just
away. For
creeping
sure.
up on you.
Yeah, that's
It
crazy.
was like the Reaper was coming and our time was almost there. And I could tell, like, man, it's not gonna end. It's not gonna end the right way. So I don't know, but that was one of those ones I won't forget. But yeah, we went through that season. We went 0-7. McIntyre got fired. Then Mel Tucker came in 2019. So Mel Tucker came in. I think that was around January, February. It was a little later than when Prime came in, because Prime came in like December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mel Tucker came in like January. Yeah, January-ish, February. Tucker came in. We had spring ball. We were building the squad. 2019, we still went 5-7.
Well, and real quick, Mel brought a lot of energy to the program.
Yep.
Like, you know, nowhere on the scope of what Coach Prime did in terms of energizing the people, but like
Yeah.
he came in and people were like, oh, like this is a big time coordinator from the SEC.
Yep.
He knows what it takes. He changed, like it felt like real things were happening.
Started recruiting differently too,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, it was different because we had players from, instead of just being like a few Texas guys, a few Cali guys, there was like guys from Cali, Texas, Florida. We had a couple guys from Georgia. So we started to have a little bit of diversity within the recruiting, and we started to have like a little bit of talent from everywhere. So when Tucker came in, he brought a little different swag to the program. And yeah, we ended up going 5-7, but that 5-7 looked different because I think we beat Stanford that year. I think we beat Washington that year. Yeah, we did. We beat Washington at home that year. So it was a different looking 5-7, and that was a different looking team.
Almost beat USC.
Yep, almost beat USC, and that was USC. That USC team, that quarterback room, I don't know who was all in there, but they had a lot of dudes in there. So yeah, that was, I would say, that first season with Tucker as far as that 2019 year, and you could see the difference in the shift, and there was a lot of optimism within the program, especially within the locker room. So we kind of carried that optimism and that confidence. So, you know, one day we heard, I can't remember who it was from, but we heard that, yeah, man, Tucker's taking these interviews and he's going to Michigan State and some other stuff. And so Tucker had a meeting with us, and he's like, yo, I just want to talk to you guys, let you know I'm a Buff for life. I'm not going nowhere. We good. So, you know, everybody kind of chilling. You know, everybody vibing. Man, I tell you, I can't remember if it was a day later, 2 days later, I went home. It was one of the nights where I wanted to get off my phone early. We had workouts the next day. But when my phone's going crazy, it's like midnight. Midnight, 1 a.m., something like that. Phone going crazy. And people are calling me, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I look, Bleacher Report, ESPN, everything said Mel Tucker leaves Colorado, takes a job for Michigan State. So everybody in the locker room, we all looking at each other like, what? Because we had to come in early, like a 7 a.m. report time the next day just to talk about everything with Rick George and everything. So,
G, hold on though. You said he called the meeting and said, I'm a Buff for life. I'm locked in.
Yeah.
And you said 24 to 48 hours
it was
later,
that
you got
quick.
that notification, G?
yep. I got it to my phone, and I'm like, nah. My mom's
That's
called me
crazy
twice.
work.
Bro, everybody hitting me, and I'm like, nah, fam. Like, there's no way, you know? Like,
That's crazy work.
then we get the teamworks probably like 10, 15 minutes later. They're like, yeah, emergency meeting in the morning, 7 a.m., report to the team meeting room, boom. So we all looking, and we all just confused. But if you knew the team at the time in that locker room, we had Christian Gonzalez in that locker room. We had
Kai Blackman.
Blackman.
We had Mekhi Blackman. We had Brendan Rice. We had Jarek Broussard. We had, I think Jordan Tyson was there at the time. Jay Tyson should have been there. Yeah, cause maybe.
I thought he was a freshman in 22.
Nah, so that means he came in 2022. Yeah, so Jordan hadn't got there yet. But yeah, that team we still had
Nate Landman,
Mark Perry,
right?
Nate Landman.
Yeah. No, you had some
Carson
receivers
Wells.
too. You had
Carson.
some good guys.
We still had dudes out there, you know? And so everybody was like still in distress, like, okay, what's going on? And I think maybe about a month later we got the news that we hired Carl Durrell. Heard that he was like formerly I think at the time he was the receivers coach for Miami or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he came in. That first year, we had a little turnover as far as like people getting into the portal immediately whenever Carl Durrell got there. After that first year, after that, like that first 2020 season, we went to the Alamo Bowl, but that was still like a lot of Mel Tucker's team.
Yeah, Jarek Broussard was going crazy that year.
And then also Brendan Lewis got to play in the Alamo Bowl. He got his debut that game as well. We had Sam Neuer at the time. Sam was solid. Still Christian Gonzalez. We still had all the dudes on defense. We still had Nate. So that Alamo Bowl appearance was Carl Durrell's first year, but that was still like, I would say 85% Mel Tucker's team.
Yep.
Then when we got to 2021, that was more so of like all of Carl Durrell's team, and I think that was even still a 5-7 season. And I don't even remember what games we won and lost that 2021 season, but it wasn't the same 5-7 as Mel Tucker's 5-7 as we just talked about.
Yeah.
Y'all blew out Arizona that year. Beat Oregon State in OT. Beat Washington in a close game.
Northern Colorado that year.
Yeah.
Oregon State.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the year we almost beat Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. At the very end of the game, I think we lost 10-7 or something like
Something
that.
stupid like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can see the shift, and there was like a different, as far as like energy, especially in the program, and as far as like the athletes that we had, and then we had a mass influx of like people getting into the portal. And a lot of people talk about the portal whenever Prime first got there, but there was a big influx of people in the portal from like that 2021 season to 2022. So most of the time, in every depth, in every position, we were short on depth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you remember the numbers for that year, but we were low in every, from O-line to DN to running backs. Like, I think there was only 5 of us in the room, 4 or 5 of us in the room.
You guys were playing freshmen and walk-ons all over the place.
We had to, because we didn't have anything else.
Goddamn.
Then 2022 started off crazy, man. 2022 started off crazy. That itself is another 10, 15 minutes just talking about the 2022 season alone, because it looks different. Yeah, from the outside, it's like, bro, they went 1-11, but it's like, fam, it's not like we just went out there and nobody wanted to win. It was like, bro, like, a lot of things happen. It's like, man, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? And one thing led to another, and you look at the end of the season, and it's like, bro, out of 12 attempts, we only won 1 time.
It was a hell of a game, though.
And that was the first game. That was the first game with Coach Stanford.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before, but like, you guys played TCU, who went to the national championship that year.
Yep.
In the first game, and I think we're down like 4 points at half.
No, we were up at half, I think.
Up at half?
I think we were up at half, 10-3 or something like that. Or
10-7,
10-7 something. If we weren't up, then we were down by 3 points. It was a close game, and then we didn't make any halftime adjustments. We stopped running the ball. Then it got ugly after that. 33-10, I think we lost that.
Yeah. But kind of like you could see flashes in that game at the beginning, and then I think next week was Air Force.
Yes.
It was 7-6 at halftime that game against TCU.
Yes.
Yep, 7-6.
Yeah.
And they were up. Yep, because we had 2 field goals. Yep, 7-6, and then we went to Air Force and we played them in the rain. It wasn't on the forecast all week. Who cares though? That's not an excuse. We go out there instead of trying to run the ball, we try to throw the ball. We get sacked. JT fumbles it, and I think I don't know if they scored off of that, but they were in the red zone past the fringe, so they were at least 15-yard line. And then we started off the game 14-0 within the first like 5 minutes, and it's raining, and we're on the Air Force base.
And it was cold.
It was freezing.
I've never been more miserable like just standing in the stands because it was raining.
It was awful.
And like maybe 45 degrees.
Oh, that's the
And it didn't start
worst.
until kickoff.
Yeah.
Until kickoff,
Yeah.
because all pregame was good. It was like a little like gray outside, but at kickoff is when it started to get active.
Yeah, you down 14-0, and them elements ain't no coming back.
Against Air Force,
Yeah,
who's
you're
just going to run it down your
cadets.
throat.
You're playing cadets, like
Right.
real Air Force guys.
For sure.
Like I'm telling you, bro.
I
Like
said cadets.
they're disciplined, bro. I'm telling you.
God, I'm knowing.
Quick side DNVR story from that game. So we planned a party bus.
Yes, we did.
To go from here down to the Air Force
Springs,
base.
yeah.
And packed it out. Absolute blast on the way down there. Everyone's drinking, having a good time. We get to the base. There is no cell service.
Oh, yeah,
none.
I forgot
none.
about this.
Yeah, none.
No self-service on the base. So first of all, we go in, the game is terrible. Half the people that are on the bus want to leave. So they all just head back and find the bus.
Yeah.
But they can't go home because we can't leave without everyone.
Yeah.
So the game finally ends, and the bus, like, because of traffic, they made the bus move like way far away from the entrance.
Oh wow.
But we couldn't communicate with anyone
You
that was
can't call anyone.
couldn't call anyone, but like we couldn't leave anyone.
True.
Because how they couldn't even get an Uber out of there, like anything like that. It was an absolute mess. We must have been on the base for an hour and a half after the game, just looking for people.
That's brutal.
All this, I didn't even know was going on because I drove myself.
Oh yeah. And then we finally got. I mean, everyone's drenched in the bus, just like shivering. It was terrible.
Hour drive back, yeah.
Awful.
Let's take our first break, and then we'll get back to Deion talking about his time in college football. Shout out to the homies over at Coors Light. It is a gray, kind of nasty day, but that doesn't mean it's not time to chill. It's actually even better to chill on days like this, right?
Facts.
Grab yourself some Coors Light. Come hang out at the DNVR bar. Watch some games with us. We got finals starting up very soon for the NBA and NHL. So there's going to be plenty of times to come hang out and knock back some Coors Lights here at the DNVR bar. You can also get it basically wherever beer is sold. You know where to find it. It ain't hard to find. Make the most out of times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get it delivered straight to your door by visiting CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado beer.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. If you're like me and you just got done with having a wedding,
You need them.
You need Monarch Money. If you really want to get better control over your finances in general, you got to hit up our friends over at Monarch Money. But they're so great at helping you set a budget, helping you understand where your money is going. It's easy sometimes to just overspend on things, you know, like ordering food or coffee in the morning. And Monarch Money will really help you get a grip on where you're spending and where you can cut back and save money, which is probably something we could all do. The app has over 30,000 5-star reviews. It's the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts. So get control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com for half off your first year. It's an unbelievable deal. 50% off your first year at Monarch Money with code DNVR. You will get that money back quickly when you understand where you are spending and where you can save.
All right, so we don't have to go through the 22 season, but Mike Sanford's the head coach, the interim head coach for the second half.
Yeah.
And around mid-November, I can't remember when exactly, we start hearing the rumors that Deion Coach Prime Sanders is interested in Colorado.
Yeah. Man, I would say it was, for me, it was something I was like, okay, well, this might be the first opportunity that we have to really change the entire program from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, okay, like a coaching change, a staff change, like a personnel, a players change. It's like, okay, from the top down, I feel like everything is going to be different. And like from that first meeting, which I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody saw this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back and watch that meeting, you'll see me front row
Yep.
with a green beanie on, a camo beanie on. And in that moment, to me, I was like, man, like this is like exactly what was needed. Especially going out there and walking out on that field 12 games in 2022 and realizing like the outcome and what happened and what shaped out of that experience. So for me, I was like, okay, this is the real like first opportunity that we'll have to really change the entire program from top down. So I was like, okay, like I know what's about to come. It's going to be like a lot of new faces. There's going to be some very hard workouts, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities to prove yourself. And, you know, like from there, like there might be people that I've been with for 4 or 5 years that I might not see again. And there might be people that have coached me that I might not see them again, that have been coaching me from the very beginning. So I knew what was about to come and what was on the way. And, you know, just like kind of going from that 2022 season, it was like, okay, this is exactly what was needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was like, as far as confidence level and like as far as optimism, it was like, damn, we just went to the very bottom. Now we can start to see the way up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
talking about those changes, bro, just from going into the Coach Prime era, which you were there for the first semester of.
Yeah.
One of the most fascinating things you told me was just about the difference in like food and nutrition. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? Like just the difference in how y'all were fed in the previous Coach Prime era as opposed to that first kind of semester when he arrived here in Boulder.
Yeah. I told you this before, but like I feel like the biggest disadvantage that we had was like nutrition.
Yeah.
And like I feel like there's a lot of aspects of it that went into it that we never really thought of. But the shift was we went from eating like 2 meals a day and like being forced to eat the things that you see in line in the cafeteria every day to Coach Prime gets there. Now we eating 3 times a day. Now, don't nobody got to call me, ask me, hey, you eating your meals today? Did you check in for dinner? No, you don't have to ask because I'm going to go there and eat something that I like.
Facts.
Whether it's like the main food, whether it's like, you know, like pastas on the side. And that was a big thing. So like the difference between like meals before Prime and whenever Prime got there was that I could go in there when Prime's there. I can go in there. I can either eat the main thing that's in the cafeteria. I could get a pasta made for me on demand, or I can get a burger or something. I'm going to leave there eating something that I want. Versus before, it's like, take this, leave it, or you're going to get in trouble for it, you know? And it showed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it showed. And so, like, just even that investment, and even, like, if you talk to the chef will tell you, like, man, like, I had all these ideas, but like I just didn't have the funds. I think if you talk to him now, he'll probably say like, "Yeah, we getting more money now, so I can actually do the things that like
we have talked to him, and he does say that.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's what like and Chef has always been there because he was there. That was the first. I think Mel Tucker hired him.
Really?
Because when I got there, we had a different chef, and McIntyre had this guy in there. Mel Tucker came in, didn't like the food situation, hired bro.
Chef Solomon.
Right.
Yes.
But we never saw a difference in like, as far as like a big difference in the food, mainly because of budget probably, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see he's still there.
For sure.
He has a bigger budget. And now everybody can brag
crazy.
about, come on.
Did we talk to him during Thanksgiving?
Oh,
when he was
that's
talking
right.
about his Thanksgiving. Bro, that was ridiculous.
It was like 30
bro.
something dishes.
For real. And it's crazy, bro. I guess I just assumed that Coach Prime brought Chef Solomon in.
No, he's been
But
there. He's
that-
been there.
that's crazy, though.
He was
They
there with me.
clearly-
I probably have a selfie with him on my phone right now. Like
That's crazy that Coach Prime at least helped Chef Solomon bring the best out of him like he's done with players and coaches. Like that's another thing that people kind of don't think about.
And it's exactly. And this is something that is really underappreciated when it comes to the Coach Prime era. People forget how much change he insisted on before accepting the job.
Yes.
And so when some normie out there talks about 13 and 12 and says he hasn't accomplished anything, they don't understand, one, the transfer rules that he was able to change.
Yeah.
The food that he was able to change. Like he came in here and said, okay, if I'm coming, you're going to put me in a position that I can succeed. And a lot of coaches before him were kind of given the option, do you think you can succeed under these circumstances?
yeah.
That was never going to be how Coach Prime was going to go about it. So he's like, you're going to change the circumstances and make it, you're going to not put me behind any 8 balls when it comes to me succeeding.
Yeah.
Well, spring football happens, obviously.
Can I go back one more time before?
Okay, go ahead.
Just back in time. One more time for the 2022 season. I know that was obviously a rough year, but if I'm not mistaken, you dinner had your best personal game of your college career, Arizona State, over 100 yards, a touchdown. You went crazy. Where does that kind of rank among your memories? How fun was that moment?
That's
I know
a memory
ending
for
loss,
sure.
but-
That's a memory for sure. And like just thinking about like the grand scheme of like, okay, my entire experience, like, yeah, that would be cool. Cause it's like, to me, it kind of was like, Imagine like you never really got to get a full 20 touches. Every starting running back from every program, from Charbonnet to Eno Benjamin to everybody that we saw,
Definitely.
they were getting probably on average around 20 touches a game.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to get my first 20 touches a game
That was
and
your
then
first time,
break 100,
Yeah.
that first 20 touches is like, fam, if y'all would have been giving
Oh,
me
God.
20 touches,
I know.
you know
I
how
know
many
that
times I
feeling.
would have broke 100?
I know that feeling, for
And then
sure.
I would have gotten a flow state to where it's like, bro, I don't need 20 no more. Give me about 12.
God.
Give me 15, then I can break that 100. So that was good, and that ranks amongst like the top memories. But I think for me, that game, it made me remember like after the 2022 season and Prime first got there, everybody as far as fans was like, man, there was no talent on that team. Like they didn't have nothing. Like Prime brought everything. He made a lot of changes, and we were just talking about that. But we still had some talent on that team.
For sure.
Because you still got Jordan Tyson on there.
Yep.
And that game alone, I think Jordan Tyson went crazy.
He did.
Probably
did.
went 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Y'all should have won that game.
He had a
honestly.
know
punt
what I'm
return
saying?
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
He had
Yeah,
a punt
he had-
return for sure that game, yeah.
Two Jordan Tyson touchdowns like the last 8 minutes or something like
Yeah.
that. I think
Come
it was.
on.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
had
like,
5 for 115 that game, and a touchdown Tyson did.
come on.
Yeah, he had 115. Deion had 111 in the tug. That should have definitely been a.
So
a
it's
dub.
like it's instances like that to where it's like, okay, yeah, the season wasn't justified by a lot of good things, but like you can see the moments to where it's like, bro, we had some talent. It's like you got to realize when you see it, especially from a player standpoint, we're gonna get in, we're gonna follow the plan and the system that's implemented upon us, right? And so essentially, we're gonna be a product of the environment and the program in which we're in. So like at some point, you have to be able to lead the pack and lead them to the place that they need to go. You might have some studs in there. You might have some bigger buffalo in there, you know? But at some point, like somebody got to lead us to them good pastures to where we can get to where we need to go, you know?
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, yeah, guys like Trevor Woods, Ben Finiseth on the team right now.
Trevor had
Jack
a pick.
Hystera was on that team.
Jack Hystera, yeah.
Come
Trevor
on.
had an interception that game. And, yeah, Tyson had an
Come on.
88-yard punt return
Mikey
touchdown
was
that game.
on that team.
Mikey,
Yeah.
was, he wasn't even playing really.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Montana was on that team
Tank
too.
was on the team.
He had a
Remember,
touchdown
everyone
that
was
game.
excited about Tank.
Yeah.
Come on, Tank was on that team as well.
Ben Wells,
Ben
too.
Wells,
He started
yeah.
at center.
Bam, come on. Hank was on that team. Anthony Hankerson, come on. Who else? Like, we can keep going.
Which you-
Yeah, there were some players
I mean,
for
yeah.
sure. I think one of the things that I've really realized over the last couple of years is you really got to have talent top to bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, every depth, too.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, because you could even have 22 guys. That's
Not
not
enough.
enough.
Not enough.
Not even close.
Yep.
I mean, you got to have guys that are third string players who could be starters elsewhere.
Dogs,
Yeah.
right.
Like
yeah.
Omarion hopping in the USC game.
Yes, yes. So like that's one thing I've learned the last couple of years. Like any college football team is gonna have guys.
Yeah.
You really got to have guys top to bottom, and that's been, like I think this year is the first year where like we can probably start to see that with the depth on this team.
No doubt. Should we just take a break?
Sure.
Shout out to our friends at Toyota.
Yeah.
The homies, I mean, they're all over the road. They dominate the roads wherever you are in this country. And it's because Toyota is the perfect vehicle in terms of, road trips, going up into the mountains, both at the same time, whatever you want to do. Toyota's got you covered. They got sports cars, trucks, hybrids, all kinds of stuff. And you can visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
And shout out to our squad over at UC Health. We are just 2 days away from the 7th annual UC Health Healthy Swings Charity Home Run Derby. That's on Thursday, June 5th, this Thursday. Broncos players like Cortland Sutton, Alex Singleton, and Marvin Mims will be stepping up to the plate at Coors Field to raise money. UC Health has donated over $900,000. That's under $1 million to local charities over 6 iterations, supporting Coloradans with food insecurity, cancer screenings, and veterans' mental health challenges. This year's beneficiary is Freedom Service Dogs. Freedom Service Dogs provide service dogs to individuals with limited mobility, young adults with autism, veterans, and first responders to help with disabilities like PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, and much more. Shout out to UC Health. And obviously, like you mentioned, they'll be at Coors Field on Thursday. Rockies got a dub yesterday. I meant to ask you yesterday, RK, before you left, bro. I'm like, are we on the Rockies tonight? Because I seen Hank, the tweet, bro. One thing the Rockies don't do, they ain't gonna lose 9 in a row.
Nope. No, sir. I wasn't on it. I felt like they were due for a new low.
Yeah.
But it looks like we'll have to wait a little bit.
What was the juice on that? Did you know?
It was like only plus 165.
That's
Facts.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Marlins are trash too.
Yeah.
Wow.
That game was empty. I saw like a video of the stadium.
Their attendance is like
Crazy.
5,000.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's more people at like an Albuquerque Isotopes game
Yeah,
than
facts.
was at that game.
Way more people at a Texas high school football game.
Yeah, I
No
was
doubt.
gonna say. Or a Texas high school baseball game.
Probably,
They
honestly.
get busy too.
So 2022 ends. You hit the portal and all that. First off, what's it like being in the portal? I guess.
Well, go back a little bit. What went into your decision to enter the portal?
Mainly just because of the fact that I was told that there was going to be extra running backs that came into the system, and essentially they were going to be prioritized to play. And in a situation like that, even Prime told me, like, I don't think that's fair for you in your last season, especially like you've been a Buff, you've been here from start to finish. Like, it's not fair for you to be here if we trying to prioritize other people, because what type of chance would that give you,
Yeah.
And so from there, I was like,
Did
okay,
you appreciate that?
yeah, I mean, I would rather you keep it. I'd rather you keep it a
Keep it a
beam with
buck.
me. Yeah, I'd rather you keep it 100 with me than like telling me like, oh, like, nah, man, you gonna be our guy, da-da-da. And then I wait and I find out in the fall, and it's like, okay, now I'm here. I can't do nothing to try to save my own future or even put my own destiny in my own hands. So it was like from there, it was like, I got to figure out a way to like, okay, I got to figure out what is the best decision for me. And so I appreciate, at least being honest with me and telling me that, because like, bro, there's a lot of coaches out here that say like, yeah, man, you're gonna be our guy, and this is what it's about to look like in the fall, and this is what everything's finna be like. And then you get to August, and it's like you're not getting as many reps. And it's not saying that anyone else is better than you. It's like we want this person to play, so we want to give them these reps now. Instead of you getting 12 reps, you got 4 reps to prove like, okay, you really get a chance. And it's harder to really get busy in 4 because you're thinking about it. You're not having fun. You're not being loose, So
you feel like you got to make everything count.
perfect for 4 plays.
Yep.
And no one plays football like
Exactly.
great like that. So that happened. I got into the portal. Portal's crazy, bro. Like, portal's chaotic. It's like straight madness from the moment you get in there until the moment you've decided that you're done. Like, and you found your home. Like, you're getting called, phones blowing up pretty much all day from all different types of people. They want to talk to you. And from there, just trying to figure out, just like you were in high school again, trying to figure out what's the best place for you, especially knowing your circumstances, knowing what you know starting, like what could be the best situation for you. And just going through that process, I feel like BYU was like a good place for me, and went there. That was our first year in the Big 12. We had a little bit of like adversity because BYU's used to having a good run game, and being dominant in the run game. That first year in the Big 12, we couldn't do nothing in the run game. And I think there was 3 of us at the time. So it was a committee, and there was me, there was Aiden Robbins. Aiden was a transfer from UNLV. Before that, he was at Louisville. And there was also LJ, because LJ had just came in, LJ Martin. And from the
He's
3
still there,
of us,
ain't he? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still there now.
LJ was who was the running back in the
bowl
Alamo
game.
Bowl.
Right,
yeah.
for sure.
And so it was us 3, but we couldn't really make anything shake as far as in the run game. And we just had some difficulties. First time in the Big 12. This is my first time playing these different teams. But, like, even that experience was great because, like, man, I got to go play Arkansas. We got to go play KJ Jefferson in his house and beat them, 38-31 or something like that. Started that game off just like we started the Air Force game off, 0-14 within the first, 2 minutes of the game. Then we ended up coming back and winning that. So it's like being in Boulder for, 5-6 years and then going elsewhere.
Y'all went on the
definitely-
road to a number 7 Texas.
Yep.
Played a number 14 ranked Oklahoma squad.
Yeah, we played Kansas at Kansas.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw that, but it's on on Kobe Bryant's highlight, bro. Like, second play of the game, we ran like a jet sweep.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant swim, boom, he hits our receiver. Bro fumbles the ball, he pick it up and go to the crib. That's in the first 5 minutes of the game.
The Kansas
We in
cornerback.
Kansas.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Kobe
bro,
Bryant, by the
this
way,
is real.
y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Kansas, corner.
No, that's
Kobe
crazy.
Bryant. But yeah, no, so that was an experience and getting to go different places. And like I told y'all, man, y'all better be ready to hit West Virginia because that place is that place right there, man.
It's crazy, bro.
West Virginia, bro. I'm telling you, felt like a simulation, bro. Like I'm not even lying to you. There was a little smoke on the field, bro. I went from like on the way to the stadium, you don't see any houses. Why? I don't know. But usually on the way you can see houses, neighborhoods. Bro, you're not seeing no houses. Next thing you know, bro, we pop into the stadium. It's already like 50,000 people in there.
Damn.
And they rowdy.
Drunk as
But
hell.
like everybody got on overalls, you know what I'm saying? Everybody yelling at the top of their lungs, bro. It's a
Raccoon hat.
It's a little fog on the field. It just felt a little eerie, weird,
That's wild.
And I don't know, man. Something about that place, I was like, bro, I never want to go there again.
So you're not coming back with us this year?
Nah, I mean, I might, but if I have a choice, nah, I'll produce from here if I could.
Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you, bro, because you mentioned at BYU that first year in the Big 12, it was kind of rough to get the running game going. As a running back, from your perspective, bro, what's kind of like the breakdown of like what makes a running game successful? How much is it on the play call, the scheme? How much is it on the offensive line? And how much is it on the guys, toting the rock? Like, how would you kind of break down the importance of those kind of three units, so to speak, of a successful run game?
I think y'all talked to, because I was going to some clips on the computer, but I'm going to say the exact same thing that I think one of the OCs said was that, bro, like running the ball is really an 11-man job.
Yeah.
Like everyone has to do it, from O-line to quarterback selling out his fake, quarterback with the mesh, you making your one-man miss, receivers blocking on the edge.
For
like
sure.
it's like it takes everybody, and it's not just like yeah, sometimes there is a balance between like scheme and everything, but it's like just a full buy-in of like everybody doing exactly what they got to do to make sure that you tote the rock. Because like I can get past the line of scrimmage with the O-line doing their job,
Right.
and
So
I can
make
get past the
somebody
second
miss.
level with the O-line doing their job, getting to their combos
Right.
and getting from O-line to linebackers, from D-line to linebackers. I can get to the second level. I can get 5-7 yards doing that. But for me to make them explosive 15-yard runs,
Right.
20-yard runs, the safeties, the nickels, the corners, they got to get blocked too.
For sure.
So we need people like that's going to go in there and that's really going to be scrappy with the DB and it's going to block and hold them long enough to where I can go ahead and put them burners on and get
Got
past them. But at the same time, though, it's also scheme because, like, you can't be running in the 7-man boxes, 8-man boxes,
Hell
you
yeah.
know? So it's also – and another thing, one thing I learned from BYU is when you get the quarterback mobility, when you get the run game from the quarterback, it opens up the run game for the backs, too.
Hell yeah.
Because, like, then at the end, he not running up the field. He not just bull rushing up the field. Now he got to be a little disciplined.
Got to give him something to think about.
And now you
That's what
being a
running
little
game
disciplined, you
quarterback
give me
gives him.
enough time to
Yeah.
get up.
Oh,
Field, you feel me? Like
Facts.
just little stuff like that. And so it's like there's a combination of like scheme, running into the right man boxes, but also like if you got a quarterback that can run, that help too. If you can
Hell
throw the
yeah.
ball, take the top off the defense, then they're gonna be backed up. Now you can run the ball too. You know,
sure.
so
Definitely.
it takes a lot of different variables, and also it takes you gotta have the right backs back there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a combination of everything. Unlike, I don't know, maybe even like the pass game. Pass game, a lot of things could go wrong, but the quarterback can get the ball off right. And the one-on-one receiver matchup could work, and they can get open, and one play could turn into an explosive play. But running back, bro, from the mesh, everybody is responsible for helping you get past the first level of defense all the way past them safeties back there.
Definitely.
I feel like it also just has to be a mindset. Like as a team, you have to take on an identity that says we're about this.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, the wide receivers, like getting their face masks in there and making some noise. And I think that it can sometimes happen by nature when you are a talented passing team to just rest on it.
Yep.
And you're not even doing it on purpose, but it's like we don't really need to get 5 on first down. Like our quarterback's gonna bail us out on second or third down either way.
Yeah.
And I think that like you played Air Force, like those guys aren't bigger, faster, stronger than most of the teams that they play, but they're about it.
They got the mentality of
Yes.
like they're going to do it every play.
Yes, and they know it. Like there's no questioning. Like, oh, are we gonna get bailed out on 3rd and 8? Like, no, there is no 3rd and 8 for Air Force. They better have 3rd and 3 or less. And so they fight on 1st and 2nd down like they have no choice.
Yep, no doubt, man. I mean, it's all that. It's a total buy-in. It's a philosophy. It's not just a play you call. Like it's almost like a way you play the game type of thing.
Real quick, you said something that stuck out to me because we talk a lot about Kalani Sitake. We have a lot of respect for him on this show. And you talked about how the start for you guys against Arkansas was just like the start for you guys against Air Force. And I'm sure there's a lot that went into making a comeback, but the first thing that came to my mind was coaching. Yeah. Like what was kind of the difference on the sideline from those two experiences that, you know, the at BYU you guys were able to overcome that and come back and win that game against a much more formidable opponent?
That's a great question. And the difference is we're in Arkansas, we're down 0-14 first like 2 minutes. They score on the opening kickoff, and then I think we had a turnover or interception or something. Then they got the ball back, they scored again. We're back on the field. We're going back on the field. First, we're on kickoff, and we're on special teams. We're on kickoff return. Coach Kalani's telling everyone, like, it starts with us. Everyone needs to – we flip the switch right now. You do your job right now.
Real quickly, just to echo your point, it's 14-0 with 11:29 still on the clock in the first quarter.
Come on. Okay, now talk to me.
3.5 minutes of elapsed.
Coach Kalani, you can probably look and see what's placement to come up next, and I'm about to tell you.
I see the next
So
play.
Coach Kalani comes up to the offense right after. So we had like a TV timeout right after kickoff. Boom, we're all over there, and he's like, everybody that's on defense, I need everybody off the bench. I need everybody to stand up, and you need to encourage your brothers. So there's no one sitting on the bench. Everyone's over there by the offense. Then from there, Coach Kalani's like, we need something. We need a spark. We need to play something right now. OC dials in. He's like, yeah, we got a play called Razorback. Call 11 Deion on the field right now. And I'm like, yo, we finna run this right now? like right now? Crazy play, trick play, bro. I faked like I was going to block the backside. We threw it. I think you guys ran it at the end of the season. Dylan got the touchdown. It was at the end of the season.
The Jimmy one?
Where you throw it to the receiver throws it to the running back?
Yeah.
Same play. We ran it that time. Kalani called for that. He was like, we need something. I'm not knowing how this play going to work. All I know is I'm going to do my job. Did my job. I'm running. All I see is that ball floating over the top. When I catch it, walk into the end zone, everybody in the stands is quiet. All them Arkansas fans is over there like this.
Gee, that's got to be one of the best.
And I just look at him, I just love you guys.
Gee, I low-key always prefer kind of playing on the road as opposed to home for like that exact reason.
Quiet,
Gee,
and you
that
see
is
everything in their face.
Yes.
It's like their whole hopes and dreams were just taken away from them. But 2 minutes ago, they were just yelling at you like, yeah, da-da-da.
like silence in the crowd is low-key better than like a home crowd like pop.
Yeah,
on the lowest
I think it
keys.
is. I think
For
it
real.
is.
And that's,
because it sounds
that
like
stadium's probably huge too.
Yeah. But nah, yeah. So Sitake said we need a spark. Deion said, say less.
boom. And then defense is amped up after that. I think they go out there and get a stop. I don't know what happened after that, but we end up winning that game 38-31.
Yeah.
We started off 14-0 the exact same way.
That's crazy.
So when you ask like what went into that, getting everybody to fully buy into that moment and not realize, dang, we're down 14, like, start to feel bad for
Start
ourselves.
sulking.
Instead of being like that, it's like, all right, come on. Now it's time to wake up. You got punched in the mouth a couple times. Let's see how you respond.
Well, and there's a lot of everything you just said that to me points to coaching. One, calling everyone off the bench. No one's gonna put their heads down right now and go sulk and feel bad for themselves.
Yeah.
That, like, to me, it's like he had a plan or just an instinct. The other thing is calling a trick play there.
Yeah.
Like, that takes confidence in your guys, and it puts confidence into you in the receiver who had to throw it. Like, oh, he believes in us. Our backs are up against the wall right now. I could the receiver could be thinking like, I could float this thing, it'd be a pick six the other way, and then we're really bad. But like, I think a lot of coaches down 14, they like their heads are spinning. It's easy to just be like, let's call dive here,
let's
like
be safe.
get us 3, like let's just try to get
Let's
our
just get a
backs off
first
the
down.
mat. Yeah. He went like to do that. I think it tells your team like, oh, he still thinks we can win this.
Yeah.
Well, we got a sense of that in the Alamo Bowl too. I mean, the trick plays that they threw out at Colorado. I mean, it was obvious that they were like ready for that moment. I guess my question is, I mean, in a general sense, what's it like playing for Kalani Sitake?
Kalani's going to carry in a trick play every single game, at least one. Offense and special teams. Depends on if it's live. Doesn't matter, but it could be called at any time. And we're always in 4-down territory. always
aggressive to the max. I love it.
Mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw from the opening kickoff, it seemed like in the Alamo Bowl, they had a sense of urgency, that team. Like, they played like a hungry team that hadn't won a lot of games, that were, thirsty for a dub.
Yeah.
And when you combine that with a bunch of talent and or good coaching, like, you're going to have a good program. And that's obviously what they were in 2024. And probably similar here again this fall.
I felt like BYU prepared for that game like it was a playoff game.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm sure they were probably pissed that they weren't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because of the Arizona State.
Like
The Arizona State game, and then how that fell out, and then seeing how that game played out, that they weren't in it, the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a snooze fest.
Yes,
Arizona
exactly.
State whooped their ass.
I guess last question is, how'd you end up here?
Ended up here, man. So after Pro Day and everything, someone in the chat asked me how Pro Day was. Big 12 Pro Day was solid. I feel like it was an experience that was similar to like what the combine would be. The only thing is that like you don't get, and even like I heard it on Sean Payton was talking about it on the Broncos show, that like you don't get, when you're not at Pro Day at your own school, you don't get as much time to run routes. And like I didn't be able to go through the whole route tree. I got to do 4 or 5 exercises with them. And I got to do normal running back stuff instead of me being able to show them like, hey, you can put me out here at a receiver and I can route up whoever it is, or I can be running an option route from the backfield, So Pro Day experience it was pretty good. I got to talk to like, a bunch of different teams. Every team was there. A lot of interview time. But after everything finished, I was just trying to figure out a way to get into my major. So I majored in journalism, got my degree from CU in journalism and communications. And so I was trying to figure out a way to get back in. And like, I remember I had a relationship with Henry. Henry used to cover the Buffs. He's on the Broncos show now. Had a relationship with Henry. I think I wanted to say around 2019, 2020. And out of nowhere, I just started seeing Jake, and I'm like, bro, who is Jake? Like, who is? I'm like, bro, who is this guy? And then me and Jake became like pretty cool, and I got connected with Jake and Henry, and then I was like, you know what, like y'all might be pretty cool, So I tried to figure out a way to get myself here, and so that's kind of how I got here with y'all.
He's underselling a little bit because he and this is good advice for anyone that is in a position like this. Deion was relentless.
He was
trying to get an opportunity, and it can. I can imagine how someone would get discouraged if they reach out and it's not there, and they reach out and it's not there. But he just kept banging down the door, and not everyone would be willing to do this, but he was willing to move to Colorado. Was not living in Colorado, willing to move to Colorado just for an opportunity, and said like, I'll figure it out. Like took shifts down at the bar, like whatever he had to do, and so. Deion deserves a lot of credit for that, and then I'll pump his tires twice here, and then I'm done. He's kicked ass in everything that he has been asked to do here.
Definitely.
10 out of 10. And then one other thing I'll say is that when you were on the team, I was always pounding the table for you to get more touches, bro.
Me too, bro.
I was like, every time he gets the ball, good things happen. Didn't you have a maybe it wasn't a touchdown, but like a kick return down to like the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yeah, and then after that, I didn't get many touches.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying.
Like, bro,
I was always
up?
like, what the hell?
I'm like, bro, what's up? Yeah.
So
that is crazy.
But for real, you've done a great job here.
Appreciate
we're
that,
stoked
man.
to have you.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I feel like that's why a lot of people like to hire former athletes, because that I feel like is ingrained in you to not take no for an answer, to do what's expected of you, and kill it, like exactly what you've done here, bro. We're proud of you, bro. Last question I got for you though. I've been wanting to ask you this for a minute, bro, because you are former teammates with a current Buff, Jack Shedeur.
Oh yeah, 2S.
And I've been wanting to ask you about Jack, because when he first committed here, I'm like, hold on now. I know he coming from Utah State and Charlotte, but bro can play. And then when I asked you about him, you pretty much echoed that. So what can you just tell us about Jack Shedeur, who obviously transferred to Colorado, the receiver from Utah State, who played at Colorado for 2 seasons, I believe, with you?
Man, Jack is somebody that doesn't get enough recognition. He's going to be under the radar. A lot of people are going to sleep on him. Other teams are going to sleep on him. Sometimes the fans might even sleep on him a little bit. But he's going to keep working. And I'm telling you, when you see him out there one-on-one on an island, there's nobody that's going to be able to hold their own.
Let's go.
And by the end of this season, I'm telling you, he probably going to have a duffel bag with at least 50 ankles in there that he done snatched up throughout the season. I'm telling you, man, that's Jack. He going to work in the phone booth. He going to be a little... You're just going to be like, dang, like, who is that dude? He done caught 2 first downs. Like,
he always open. Yeah. That's what I was saying in 22 when he was making plays, though.
Then you go slow it down, watch the film. You're going to be like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. You know, he might get outshined. There's a lot of, you know, like, there's a lot of high profile guys, like, you know, ahead of him. But, like, that's one of those dudes he going to get open. And all I know is all the quarterbacks that I know, they like them dudes that's just going to get open.
Right.
So, don't be surprised if Caden go out there, Juju go out there, and you just see Jack start to get some targets.
For sure, bro. I've been trying to tell people, bro, like, this receiver room is obviously super deep and super talented.
No, they are for
Jack
sure.
Shedeur still has the second most career production of everybody on all the receivers on this team. And obviously they came at other places, but bro can just play. Again, this is his last year of eligibility as well. He didn't come here to not play. And he can play. So I'm excited for him. I think there's no reason why he can't finish the year as a top 5 receiver, top 6 receiver on this team in terms of production. That's definitely on the table.
I can see that too.
All right. We got some other actual Buff stuff to talk about. Not much, but we got some stuff to talk about today. I'm sure everyone's seen it. The highlight of the day on June 3rd is Travis Hunter. I may sound like I'm underselling it. This is unbelievable, though, what he just did.
Low key, the highlight of the day in sports. Like, I think
Absolutely.
not even just football. Like, this is just some crazy, ridiculous stuff.
Probably the highlight of OTAs. Period.
I haven't seen a
OTAs.
crazier play at OTAs. Yeah, for sure.
Here it is. Travis just, no words. Just no words, bro.
Do that.
How he plays the football out of the air it's rare.
Bro, the crazy thing is, bro, he's so freaky. Like, I guarantee you, he can wake up out of bed, don't stretch, and just do something like that. No, I'm so serious. Like, I'm so serious. That's Trav.
What is most impressive to me here is watch him in coverage. Watch how little that his helmet moves.
Right in phase perfectly the entire time.
You
Got his
know
eyes
exactly
around at
when
the
to turn
perfect
around.
time. Yep. Eyes around at the perfect
Helmet looks
time.
like it's on a stabilizer.
Well, and what I told Arcade when we were talking about this play before the show is how many times have you seen like a DB, perfect position like this, gets his hand up, knocks the ball away, like great play already, right? You're already rolling that highlight.
Yeah.
To catch the ball and find it in that situation is absurd.
Yeah, he's a freak.
It's crazy.
We've seen that a lot over the years.
Oh, yeah.
At practices in Boulder and in games. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to see Travis being Travis in a Jags uniform.
No doubt.
Our guy, Coach Box, pretty much said that too. He like reposted that clip and was like, Travis's CU practice clips are unreal. Y'all should see some of the stuff he's put on tape.
That's what I can't remember who told us at one of the media days, but we asked someone about Travis either last year or the year before.
Probably the year before.
And they were just like, yeah, you should just see what he does at practice. Like and we've seen glimpses of it, obviously, at Well Off, Reese People, Neely, but what did you probably see in 3 months there?
Bro, like I said, bro, he he is different, man. He is different. I'm telling you, he can wake up out of bed early in the morning, hop on the field, and make a crazy play like that. And then he'll come to the sideline and start dancing and playing with you. Like, bro, lock in, bro, for a couple minutes. Like, the crazy thing is he is locked in. Like, that's him locked in.
That's the thing is I saw that, whatever, some stupid engagement farming account like, oh, I wonder if Brian Thomas Jr. is sick of Travis because, like,
Oh, God.
BTJ is always, like, just
Very chill.
and then Travis is in the background. But, like, that kind of, like, that's how Travis gets locked in. Like, he's literally getting into, like, a rhythm.
No, I remember
dancing around and whatnot.
early in this era, Neely told us, pregame, if Shedeur's just got a serious look on his face, not talking to anyone, if Travis is dancing, we're feeling good.
Yep.
To the chat now. We'll talk about the playoff tomorrow.
We can get to the chat, but quarterback's going to be stupid and try him early on, too, I feel like.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah, because they, his first year in the league.
They're going to want to see.
They're going to think it's sweet.
Exactly.
It's literally the TCU like situation. Like, we got him in a little pick play here on the goal line. He can't guard this.
I can see him having like 3 picks the first month of the season.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just going to get targeted. And until he's not going to be targeted
They're
anymore.
going to make him prove it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They're going to make him
that's what's
prove
going to
it.
happen.
I love it.
All right. MX Rare asked, did you play with Chris Miller?
Yes.
I used to hoop with him.
Yeah, I played with Chris Miller. Chris was, I think he came in 2017.
Corner, right?
Yeah, DB. He played like a little nickel and everything. But Chris is, man, he great athlete, super freak dude, bro. Like as far as athlete wise and speed, he just couldn't like. It was just hard for him to stay healthy, and like a lot of unfortunate things happen that you can't control in this violent game, bro.
Yep.
Facts.
Wayne says, Jake, where does this fella stand on Meatloaf? This is the important questions I need.
Let me
you
find
to
out
ask.
Wayne got on his other account to ask this question. You not slick, boy.
How you feel about Meatloaf?
Yeah, how do you feel?
I mean, I'm not a Meatloaf hater, but look though, like I'm not finna just sit down and just smack some Meatloaf.
Of course not.
I'm not finna go somewhere and be like, yo, what kind of meatloaf y'all got? You know what I'm saying? But
Thank
like, you know, I'm not finna just hate on meatloaf and be like, this is the worst thing ever. Now am I like Scotty and I just love meatloaf? No. But I could vibe with some meatloaf depending on the moment.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you ain't never been in a restaurant and looked at the menu and be like, yeah, let me,
Crazy.
thank you,
No,
bro.
I'm not doing
Like
that.
it, bro. If I was at,
Not doing that.
if I was like at your parents' house or something, you know, that was the meal of the
Don't
night.
throw my parents under the bus like that, bro.
If I was at Jake's parents' house or
you
something.
go.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be disrespectful. I would eat it, you know,
facts.
and I might enjoy it.
You
But,
would?
like,
You would. You'd change
I
your
wouldn't. I'm sure I would, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna
order
sit
that
down
or
and, like,
cook
order,
it
no.
or ask for it. No,
No.
it's not happening.
Not
If
happening.
you're gonna have meatloaf, we're gonna go to I think it's called Bender's, and they have a smoked meatloaf sandwich that actually hits.
That sounds
Interesting.
crazy.
I think this is how this conversation started because I
That
was
might have
saying
been.
like I would go to the Breck farmhouse and they have a meatloaf dish that is crazy there.
Oh no.
So
bro.
I do go to that restaurant and order meatloaf. Yes, 100%.
Insane, bro.
It's so good.
You might as well just go to Arby's at that point.
Come on, man.
That's crazy.
Bubba Buff says, Deion, can CU continue to eat with running backs from H-Town, and what can Marshall Faulk bring to the table in Texas?
I mean, yeah, they can definitely continue to snack some running backs from H-Town because, I mean, Houston don't look like Boulder, I'll tell you that. But yeah, no, I think Marshall Faulk is like a good help because, like, I know for me personally, if like that was someone that was like teaching me and that was like my coach and that's someone I can look up to as a mentor, but also have like a very close relationship with him, that would definitely weigh into like, you know, recruiting. Cause like even like, who's UCLA's head coach?
Deshaun Foster.
Deshaun Foster. He was a running back.
For the
Yep.
He was the
Panthers,
running back
cold back in the
coach.
day.
So that also
Yeah.
helped him. That's how they got Charbonnet and everyone, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
so stuff like that, like it pays off because it's like, okay, like instead of someone just telling me this from a perspective of like, oh yeah, I'm a coach. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. It's just like, okay, he's really done it before.
Bro, it's got to be a crazy flex as a coach to like pull up your old film and be
Yeah.
like, this is what I want you
Be like,
to do.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro,
this
Hagen
what it
used to
look
do
like.
that. It hit different though because he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this 1990 film, bro, and I'm like, bro, you was cooking. You feel me? With the bucket on, probably that helmet right there. But yeah, it does hit different being able to see your coach and then be like, yeah, man, like this is who I'm learning from. This is who's teaching me.
Facts.
Ivan asked, Deion, what do you miss most about your days in Boulder or days as a Buff?
Game day, atmosphere, pulling up into Boulder, going down the hill, leaving we used to stay in like Broomfield. So going down the hill, looking at the stadium, looking at all the traffic in there, seeing everyone like lined up and just feeling those nerves when you're walking down the Buff Walk. And then from there, going pregame warm up and then just taking that field, running behind Ralphie, the faster Ralphie.
Yeah, you gotta run behind a real route.
The faster Ralphie. OG Ralphie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I miss the most. And probably getting to talk to Jake every day. I still get to
Hell
talk
yeah.
to him, but it hit a little different. We not talking in the Champion Center no more.
No, for real, honestly, I would request this guy all the time.
No, facts. Like, I would know, like, damn, it's probably Jake. Yeah,
They pull you while you're walking out of practice. Like, you got one. It's like, oh,
Curtis
damn it,
Snyder
Jake.
coming up to me like, hey, you got media. Is it Jake?
Yeah.
It is. Hey, man, tell Jake I'm going to be there in about 5 minutes.
Hey, that's cool.
Oh, I got one actually. When you were looking at BYU, did like all the rules and all that? How did that play into your?
Yeah,
decision?
tell us about the honor
All right,
code.
I'll tell you. All right, I'll keep it a bean with you, bro. So,
Because
I was worried about it for sure. I didn't know a lot about BYU. I heard about the honor code and everything, and they were like, yeah, like you got to sign this contract, and it says like you're going to follow these rules, yada yada. Coach Sanford called me, and he's like, yo, hey, I just want to let you know, they do follow the honor code, and everything about that is 100% true. But like, just go take a visit. Let me know what you think after. But don't not take the visit. At least just try to take the visit. So I was like, all right, cool. Took the visit, and I was like, I can see, you know, like this is a different vibe. This isn't Boulder. Everyone isn't like loose. We ain't having parties, you know, and everything that is going on in Boulder isn't happening in Provo. But it's like I had my experience.
Yeah.
I'm finna go to the facility and come home every day. There's no need for nothing else. So I would say that all of that went into it. But Coach Sanford gave me the lowdown because his brother-in-law is the quarterback's coach.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, bro, I know this probably sounds crazy, but like at least check it out, see what's up. And I was like, all right, cool.
And then you followed the honor code 100% while you were there, right?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. 100%. Because like, you know, we don't play around about the honor code.
Oh, that's a great way to end it. Thanks for coming on, man. This was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
for
stuff,
sure.
bro.
I'll be here tomorrow, but I'll just be back.
Obviously, yeah. So again, when you hear the voice from the producer,
Now you
this guy
know.
right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also certified ball knower.
Absolutely, yeah.
Elite ball knowledge, you know.
I'm trying to get you to get the mic on more, bro, and just hop in on the
Yeah,
call.
bro. Because sometimes you be back there. I be seeing you, bro.
I
You be
know.
making faces. I be
Yeah.
like, bro, what's up?
It's
Pick up
because
that
you like
mic.
to talk about Houston and then you try to
Like
say
that. He
that.
asked you about it today. I definitely thought about it, bro. But I'm gonna let you slide today.
You know, so sometimes I have to say some stuff.
That was awesome, man. All right, chat. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.
Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.